Failure. It's a word that haunts us. Most people fear it. Most people give up after a few setbacks. But some are wired differently. They don't see failure as the end. They see it as part of the process. And sometimes it takes failing over and over again, hundreds, even thousands of times before a breakthrough happens. This is the story of Thomas Edison, the man who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb and changing the world forever. In 1878, Thomas Edison was already known as a brilliant inventor. But he was obsessed with a single idea: creating an electric light bulb. He wasn't the first to try. Other scientists had been experimenting with electric light for years, but none of them had succeeded in making it practical or affordable. Edison believed he could change that, but belief alone wasn't enough. He would have to push through imaginable levels of failure to get there. Edison's early attempts were a disaster. He tried using platinum filaments, but they burned out too quickly. He experimented with different types of metal, but none of them could withstand the heat. Each test was another failure, another step toward humiliation. His competitors laughed at him. Investors began to pull their support. But Edison had a different relationship with failure. To him, it wasn't a setback, it was data. Every time a filament failed, it taught him something new. Instead of giving up, he doubled down. He once famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's team, exhausted and frustrated, begged him to stop, but he wouldn't. He worked 16 to 20 hours a day, testing thousands of materials. He even sent assistants to South America and Asia to collect rare bamboo and plant fibers. Most of them failed instantly. But Edison refused to quit. Then, in October 1879, after over 1,000 failed attempts, something changed. Edison tested a thin carbonized bamboo filament inside a vacuum-sealed glass bowl. He held his breath as he flipped the switch. It stayed lit, not for seconds, not for minutes, for over 13 hours. Edison's lab exploded with excitement, but he knew the work wasn't done. He refined the design, making it last longer, burn brighter, and cost less to produce. In 1880, Edison filed a patent for his light bulb, and the world changed forever. For the first time, people looking up in awe. But the light bulb was just the beginning. Edison's success with electric light sparked the creation of the Edison Electric Light Company, which eventually became General Electric, one of the largest corporations in the world. He went on to invent the phonograph and the motion picture camera, shaping the future of music and film. By the time he died, Edison held over 1,000 patents, more than almost any inventor in history. But the truth is, Edison's greatest invention wasn't the light bulb, it was his mindset, his willingness to fail, his refusal to let failure define him. In a world that fears failure, Edison embraced it. He used it as fuel. At one point, a reporter asked Edison, "How did it feel to fail 1,000 times?" Edison smiled and replied, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's the lesson Edison left behind, that success isn't about getting it right the first time. It's about having the courage to keep going when everyone else quits. Because the truth is, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. So the next time you face a setback, remember Edison. Remember that sometimes you have to fail 1,000 times before you change the world